Draft Brewery. This is Dr. Chris Baker, DC. Today we're giving you a event analysis for MPDC 25.05, where I got second place with Mono Blue Heroic. Had some pretty interesting matches. It was a brand new deck for me that I'd never played before, tested only a couple matches. Got the inspiration for the deck watching a guy who, what's his name, Colin or something from South Carolina, was promoting a live stream event that was at a store in real life, and the winner of that event was playing Mono Blue. He beat a lot of Boros and Mono White decks and Mono Red decks. So the metagame was not exactly similar on our MPDC at all. So it actually was a pretty bad choice. But we'll go through some of the matches and we'll see how insanely lucky I got. Basically throughout the entire tournament just to get to where I was, and how unlucky I got in the couple of matches that I did lose that were kind of insane. Very fun deck to play though. I considered it aggro combo right here because of the potential of some of the cards to just go off and go crazy. Again, with sort of a control heavy meta, I would not recommend this deck, but if Mono White is popular, Mono Red, any heroic decks, this deck destroys heroic decks. I had to beat Black-White control deck, got lucky against them, and I had to beat Mono Red, and that's just a good matchup. So now let's go through a little deck tech to actually go over the cards in the deck. Okay, first off, gets to play my favorite card of all time, Basic Island from Urza Saga, of course, little Thunderstorm. Never hurt anybody. We got basically a standard looking deck with Cloudfin Raptors and Frostburn Weirds. Just trying to curve out usually Cloudfin Raptor into Triton Shorestalker in that order, so you can evolve the Cloudfin Raptor and then turn 2 land either a Frostburn Weird or a Sigiled Starfish to evolve this even further and just get the beat started. From there, you just get the nullify their either removal, like Stab Wounds, Death Approach, Pacifisms, or, stop their creatures, just like an upgraded Essence Scatter when you're playing all islands. Finally found a home for this deck, or for this card. I thought this card was insanely good, but it's really hard to find a home for it in other blue-based control decks because blue is usually just a support color for like the Izzet, Dimir, and Esper type decks. So yeah, the real combo potential with this deck though is with Hidden Strings and Retraction Helix. Retraction Helix, operative word is permanent. So you can bounce almost anything. You can bounce enchantments and auras, artifacts, your own creatures to save them from removal, your opponent's entire board, and all of their enchantments fall off. Creates a lot of tempo, and it's a tap ability, kind of like Banishing Knack. So if you can untap your creatures, you can use it multiple times in one turn. Hidden Strings lets you untap permanents, so you can, for example, cast Retraction Helix on Wavecrash Triton, tap one of their guys with the heroic trigger, tap the Triton to bounce a permanent, play Hidden Strings, target here, lock down another permanent with the heroic trigger, tap it again, bounce another permanent, so you already dealt with 4 permanents for the turn. Then hopefully cipher it onto a Raptor that can not be blocked, or a Triton Shorestalker that definitely can't be blocked. Hit them, deal combat damage, activate one more time, and get a heroic trigger and a bounce and you basically can't lose from that position a lot of the times. So yeah, other insane abilities with hidden strings is to realize that you can prevent your team from being celestial flared. Like, let's say they have 2 white mana open. You can tap one of their lands and then move to combat, and their mana pool will empty. So if, let's say, you could only hit with one creature, like a Cloudfin Raptor with hidden strings, and there was no way to attack with multiple creatures to protect it from celestial flare, then this is a sweet way to kind of get the ball rolling. The deck can really struggle if you don't just kind of start the snowball. But once the snowball starts rolling, it's usually pretty good. Other cards, Sigil Starfish, it's very susceptible to Stab Wound, but the amount of cards that it virtually draws throughout the game is pretty insanely high. So I definitely liked playing him. Like, when you have multiples in play, he becomes less good because eventually you have to keep cards on top. So he's definitely not a 4-of. You don't want to play 4 of him, I think, ever. He's so good on turn 2, though, that it's okay to have 3. 2 is not enough, because you almost always want to win turn 2. But like, once you have 1 or 2 in play, if you find another one, you can scry the third to the bottom. Or the third scry, like you'll see in some of these games, is really nice because it just helps you dig if you need one particular spell, which the combo version of this deck definitely needs, like Retraction Helix or Hidden Strings, where no other card will win you or get you ahead on board. Okay, other cards, Divination. Little odd for an aggro deck, but he just, again, Combo Weave version just lets you stay ahead on cards with all the other control decks. The 8 heroic creatures, Wavecrash Triton and Warring Siren, are pretty good, mainly because Hidden Strings combos with them. Problem is that without Hidden Strings, and even Retraction Helix, it's only 8 cards. You don't have that many heroic triggers total in the deck. That's not a lot. So if they kill your guy with Hidden Strings that is ciphered, you're not growing your guys. And 1/3 flyer for 3 in general is just not good. If I were to play this deck again, I would definitely consider cutting a few of these Warring Sirens. There's a lot of better cards than it. Either Essence Scatters or Keymaster Rogue, or even like a 1-of Leyline Phantom to make just have a huge 5/5 threat for when the game goes late that could potentially evolve your Cloudfin Raptors into 5/6s, which would be nuts. But definitely Wavecrash Triton, is worth the 3-drop heroic slot. He is probably the best card in the deck for what this deck is trying to do. It just locks up the game very easily with his trigger. And he has a 4 toughness, just like the Frostburn Weird, to really help evolve our Cloudfins into 3/4s. Other considerations, Vaporkin might also be okay. The deck is not very susceptible to Shrivel. It basically only kills the Shore Stalker, which you can take out if you suspect Shrivel. It only stops a Cloudfin Raptor, before it's evolved once. So that's the main deck. Sideboard that I played with was pretty bad. It could be a lot better. Played 2 Dispels and 2 Negates to help counter spells and control decks. Dispel's like too narrow of a card. You probably just want 1 and want 3 Negates. The Whips are also very, very good against control decks that have Crypt Incursion and a lot of removal. So it's just unblockable, basically. It's like Invisible Stalker. But better, because it doesn't die to Shrivel. Okay. Voyage's End, pretty helpful against Ethereal Armor decks. It's kind of like Retraction Helix number 5 against them. Also, bouncing your own guys is good against Stab Wound and Pacifism. Lets you replay like a Most people put Stab Wound on like Wave Crash, right? And you can bounce Wave Crash, right, and replay it, evolve your Cloudfin Raptors even further off one creature. It's pretty good. The Font of Fortunes are just good. More draw twos just to stay at parity on cards against the control decks. And Essence Scatter is really good against like Grey Merchant, Auramancer, Archaeomancer, Disciple of Phoenix, and Gatekeepers. So they're kind of nullifies 5 through 6. And if you notice, all these cards are versus different things in control. Even Stealer Secrets can come in against control, just more threats to exhaust the removal and hopefully get ahead on cards. Yeah, so overall, the deck just crushes aggro, so you just want to make your control deck or control matchup better post board. And you can do that pretty easily, except the deck is still just not that good against control. And we'll walk you through some of these games here and show you again how I got really lucky a lot at some points and really unlucky at other points, and I made definitely a few misplays, which are even recording this 2 weeks later, I still remember these misplays haunting me. So thanks for watching this little deck tech, and we'll get started on the rounds real soon here. Thanks.